Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I want to walk you through how to counter these guys, the turtles. Two different versions of the turtle team. Level 49 player 15 blah 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 blah. He's got two Leonardos. Look at him go. This is like the more common turtle team, the four turtles. How do we deal with them? Because it can be a pretty scary team. It's a very easy team to lose to, I think, particularly because of Leonardo's A3, this faction unity passive, where whenever anyone on his team drops below 50% HP, he activates this skill. Now, they're actually going to update the wording of this because there are a couple of things that are very important to know which affect this massively. So number one, it only activates if their HP goes below 50 but remains above 0. So if you kill them in a single hit, this won't activate, or whatever. You bring them from 60% HP down to 0, you kill them in one single hit, or even a couple of hits in one single attack, I should say. It could be multi-hits. It won't trigger this. If they're dead, it won't trigger. They have to survive. So that's definitely something to know. Same thing with his passive, by the way. And another thing that's going to be big in terms of countering them, it also does not trigger this passive effect or this faction unity effect if you do it with debuffs. It's only off of attacks. Only attacks, right? So there's debuffs and a couple of other sneaky ways that you can deal with it. So let's go. The turtle team, generally speaking, it's going to be a go second team. They're probably going to be pretty slow. Going to expect multiple of them in Stone Skin. They could have some defensive relics like Aspect of Siroth or Last Laugh Amulet for some cheat death. They could have Wands of Submission to reflect crowd control back. So we want to try to figure out how do we beat them 100% of the time, and you definitely can beat them very easily 100% of the time. I think generally speaking, by the way, certainly this might be a very difficult team as a new player. You might not have any of these options I'm going to tell you about, but when you get later in the game, these options will become more common. I think this turtle team can be very, very strong on attack, but I think it's not very good on defense because I do think it's actually very easy to counter. Let's explain how. Let's do it. Okay, so the number one way to counter them, it has a couple of drawbacks, but it can be very effective. Let me just remove these, is with bombs. Yes, bombs, beautiful. So we are expecting these turtles are likely going to be built in Stone Skin, and certainly these three are damage dealers. They're not going to have any resistance. And if they do have resistance, they're not going to be doing any much real damage whatsoever. I wouldn't expect it at all. So bombs is going to be a very consistent way to deal with them. Now, Donatello, this is the slight problem with Donatello, because he can remove all debuffs. So we have to watch out for him. A couple of things to watch out for. Number one, he could be built with very high resistance so that he would resist the bombs. He goes first and removes them all. Okay, in that sense, we could bring in, let's say, a Lady Kimmy, bring in a champion with the increase accuracy buff, which will, if you've built enough accuracy on your damage dealer with 50%, I wouldn't, it's basically impossible to build over 1,000 resistance. So yeah, I mean, you've got huge advantage attacking, right? It's very easy to get more accuracy with the increased accuracy buff, and you don't need your champion to be particularly fast either. They're probably going to be pretty slow. And heck, if Donatello somehow is faster than you, then that's great. He takes a turn, wastes his move, and then great. Now you could bomb away. Happy days. So that's cool. We might bring in an increased attack champion, let's say like an Arbiter, throw her in there as well to give us increased attacks where bombs do more damage. Maybe use the upcoming fusion. He could work as well, though he would have the double risk because he's Spirit of not reducing the bombs on Donatello. So you'd have to bring in something else to deal with that as well. We'll cover that in option number 2. Yeah, we might want to bring in as well buff removal. Let's say a Lady Mikage can, in her alternate form, also brings increased accuracy, but also removes buffs. The weaken does up your bomb damage as well. She might remove their Stone Skins, but they're fairly commonly going to have Lightning Cage, so buff removal is not super reliable. And that's sort of the problem. What if they have feral sets on, certainly on Donatello? What if Donatello is in 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece feral? So he's got Stone Skin buff and he has block debuff for a couple of turns. And imagine he's 5-star Lightning Cage. So we apply buffs. He's going to be protecting his buffs. There's a decent chance we don't remove the feral buff. And then he doesn't get bombs on and he comes in and cleanses. That can be rough. So this, I think, is not a 100% successful team. but it's going to work most of the time, and it's going to be very easy to take him down. The bombs will totally bypass all of this stuff. As we said, the passives here are only going to activate. Same thing with Donatello's passive. Will only activate if they actually take this from an attack. It won't activate if they're from debuff. So bombs will bypass all the passives. They'll just die, right? The important passives, that is. So it's pretty neat. Now, one of the biggest counter, of course, is Comedus. Comedus is massive. Now, it's still not 100%, but Comedus puts bombs and then instantly detonates them on enemies with Stone Skin, or if they've less HP than this champion. He's going to have more HP than all the turtles. They're probably in Stone Skin. So he will instantly detonate the bombs. Donatello can't save them. They're just all dead. So Comedus is like the biggest counter. The only way for that to not work would be if you've literally put Feral Set on all of the turtles. Or I guess if you've got, I don't know, Valcardia carts on all of them and shield sets on all of them or something. So they got Giga Shields. Extremely unlikely. And you could buff removal would fix that as well. But yeah, Comedus is probably just going to kill them. If you gear them in Feral Set, you might lose one fight, but you would probably win the next. You could just one-shot them. But yeah, actually, let's cover that as option number 2, just one-shots. Just one-shotting them works. Now, we're trying to kill them with a single attack. So let's say we throw in, let's take out him. Let's say I put in Eilil. Right, Eilil, he comes in, massive attack, ignores Stone Skin, ignores a lot of defense, huge damage, brilliant. Now, one problem with one-shotting is Donatello will prevent other turtles' death and keep them alive. And then it's very possible that Leonardo is going to counterattack with his Unity skill. So that's pretty bad. Now, what you can do is you can one-shot Donatello. He can't save himself, so you can one-shot him just fine, and then he can be dead. This might not be 100% either, though. It's possible he could have reaction accessories on, which would prevent him from being crit, and then he might do enough damage to push him below half health, but not kill him and trigger Leonardo. Pretty bad. He could have Aspect of Siroth, which again will reduce damage taken based off his turn meter, and again, that could be pretty bad. It could put him below half health, but not kill him, and Leonardo triggers a counterattack. So this is not 100% consistent, but it's still a reasonable enough strategy. One-shot Donatello, and then once he's out of the picture, you can one-shot Leonardo just fine. It's very easy to one-shot Leonardo. Very easy, in fact. Donatello is really the only thing keeping him alive for the most part. Once you've got a decently strong hitting damage dealer, you can just kill him before his passive even activates. Yeah, that is definitely, it's an option, though it also has drawbacks. Lockout is a very strong option against the turtles, putting their skills on cooldown. They're not going to be building resistance. Donatello can reduce their cooldowns, though, so again, watch out for that. If you've got increased accuracy, so again, we might bring in, let's say, Lady Kimmy. And with Lady Kimmy, we're in a better spot. Though note that if you're using Fabian, he is the wrong affinity, so he won't be 100% at increasing the skills for Donatello. This is generally quite strong, but it's not perfect. Because you could weak hit the Donatello. He could have really high resistance if you don't have increased accuracy. It's going to depend on his AI. They might set up his AI in like Siege or something to remove the debuffs first, in which case, great, you've locked out their skills, potentially remove some of their buffs, and you can start killing them off or crowd controlling them or whatever, and you could be totally fine. Stun Leonardo and then kill Donatello, and hey, bada bing, bada boom, we're pretty happy. Another thing with Lockout is the turtles have all the ally attack A1s, and they can add up to a lot of damage. So the turtles can actually do quite a bit of damage, even when they are locked out. And of course, the key thing is Leonardo can still use his A3 Unity counterattack, even if the skill is on cooldown. The Lockout is good. It's certainly a good combination to put with other stuff. So let's say instead of Fabian, what if I put in Yumiko, and what if I put in then the Nishak? Instead of him. So now I boost up, let's say with this team, if they've got Feral Set, great. I decrease their buffs with Lazarius. Great, happy days. I have a chance to remove their buffs with Lady Kimmy and remove a buff there and give us increased accuracy. Yumiko can lock them all out, and with increased accuracy, he should lock out Donatello just fine. Then I can bomb them and they should just die, and it should be nice and safe and simple. So you can start layering some of this stuff and it works quite well. Another thing you can do, I don't personally have good options for this, but they are going to be very, very vulnerable to HP burn. So we look at someone like Gizmak, and this is going to be very true with some specific setup. So for instance, if you have the Skull of Treason, this was a limited time relic, though it may return at some point, but this makes HP Burns do more damage. If you combine that with the Incinerate Blessing, which makes Burns do more damage in PvP, this one over here, your Burns will do up to 100% more damage, up to double damage. With Skull of Treason, they do even more. You can melt through those turtles very quickly. And remember what I said, when you activate these Burns, damage from debuffs will not trigger Leonardo's passives. So you can push the turtles all below 50% HP with Burn. You're fine. Leonardo won't do anything. He won't get Stone Skin. He won't counterattack with his Unity skill. Well, he'll do his normal counterattack if he has counterattack up. He'll do his A1. But he won't do his Unity skill if you hit him, that is. So yeah, that's a very, very strong combo. You can also do the same thing with poisons. So if you got a top tier poisoner like Nell, you can also push them back with poison as well. So that's sort of a bonus thing that you can make work. The poison's a bit awkward because you're expecting them to be in Stone Skin, and Stone Skin blocks poisons, whereas Stone Skin takes extra damage from burns. So yeah, with burns and burn activation, you can easily rip through all their Stone Skins. They lock them out, rip through their Stone Skins, push them down below 50% HP, and then just sort of finish them off. No problem. You can easily do that with burns. One bonus thing as well, not only will debuffs bypass their passives, but things like damage reflection will work as well. So one kind of sneaky thing, you could have some Cardiac Hearts on. This gives you a shield that reflects damage. The Magma Shield buff is actually a shield that reflects the damage. If you got a couple of these on your team, again, it's quite niche. You need 2 mythical relics, but a couple of Cardiac Hearts, not only will it counter Amarius pretty well, but it will also counter Leonardo pretty well. You can just kill him with the damage reflection, and he'll just die. And he won't trigger an extra Unity counterattack. He won't trigger a Stone Skin, save himself. He should just die. Couple of things you can do as well. A little risky, but you can simply kill them with multi-hit attacks. So Marius, I think Gizmak form 2 is extremely strong here. But specifically, Donatello's passive will be bypassed by multi-hits attacks. So when someone's about to die, he'll prevent their death. Let's say we kill someone with Marius A2. It's a triple hitter. We kill them with the first hit. He prevents their death and equalizes their health, but then we finish them off with a second or third hit because Marius hits very hard. And let's be honest, the turtles are pretty much very squishy. There you go. If you kill them with a multi-hit, again, it won't trigger Leonardo, right? Because they're dead. They've gone below 0% HP, so it's not going to trigger this. So yeah, that's very strong as well. You can also just kill Leonardo straight up with Marius. It's a little risky. It depends on whether or not Marius removes this Stone Skin. But Marius, let's say Marius pushes him below 50% HP with his first hit of the A2. The second hit removes the Stone Skin. The third hit will kill him. It's a bit of a dice toss as to whether or not it works, depending on his Lightning Cage buff and whatnot. But yeah, you could just one-shot Leonardo with Marius A2. Or again, other multi-hit skills will just kill him through Donatello, and kill any turtle through Donatello's protection. So multi-hit skills, it's not super reliable, but it is good. Now, the 2 most reliable ways to counter the turtles, and these are very, very hard counters, is number 1, the slightly worse way is block damage. So, which one is block damage? Is this block damage? I always forget. Yeah, this one's block damage. Let's say we throw in a Helicath. Cool. And let's say I put in the Marius. Marius will be just fine. So, in this team, we lock them out, so they can't really do anything. I put up block damage with Helicath. Block damage. How did the turtles get past block damage? They could remove it if Leonardo kills somebody, but if everyone has block damage, he can't kill anybody, right? He just simply can't kill anyone. Leonardo can't hit through block damage. Raphael can. He ignores block damage if he's attacking while under Berserk. Certainly on siege defenses and stuff like that, it's not unlikely that his AI on auto is going to use his A3 first, though. Fairly unlikely that he uses this A2. This is the only thing the turtles can do that will hit through your block damage. I mean, I guess Michelangelo could stun you through block damage as well. But yeah, Leonardo's not a threat. You can just eat all of these A3s and it will literally do nothing. And it's great. So that's a very, very strong counter. Just watch out for Raphael in this situation because we got Fabian. Potentially Donatello reduces his cooldowns, but it's going to be fairly unlikely that they're going to have it set up for Donatello to open with his A2 and then Raphael to do his A2. And in the meantime, someone else would have to die as well for him to get the Berserk debuff and ignore block damage. So there's lots of different problems in there that can happen. Donatello can remove the Berserk. If he's in Stone Skin, he can't get Berserk anyway. So yeah, it's very difficult for an arena defense team to actually utilize Raphael's ignore block damage. You would have to watch out for it in live arena, or if they're attacking you with the turtles. But I mean, live arena, it doesn't really matter, right? But you'd be mad to attack a block damage team with Raphael. So characters as well, like Neve, very strong. The Sylvan Void Legendary, lots of other characters like that. Block damage. Ideally, you're looking for 2 turns just to have it up so you can pick him off. You can wait for Leonardo Stoneskin to expire, then you can kill him. Best to combo it with increased skill cooldowns as well, just in case for the Raphael. And just in case, their Leonardo gets a turn and then does his A3 when your buffs are down. Especially if someone outruns it, if you've got a very fast character. Like for me, I've got a 437 speed Lazarius. What if he metamorphs or whatever? He's just fast. He outruns block damage. If Leo kills him with the A3, Leo could remove block damage from everyone. You can make it a bit safer by putting 9-piece protection onto your block damage champion. Give them a 75% chance the block damage is protected. And again, Leo really can't deal with that. None of them can. They're just protected. What can they do? Nothing. Even better than that, block damage is great. Raphael can hit through it, but for the most part, it's really good. There is one buff that's even better, though, and that's Unkillable. Unkillable. They can't do anything about Unkillable. Raphael can't ignore Unkillable. Doesn't work. And Leonardo, you can remove all your buffs, but he has to kill you. If you're unkillable, he can't kill you. He can't remove the buff. So there's nothing the turtles can do. I guess, again, Michelangelo could stun one of your targets, but, they basically can't do anything if you're unkillable. This is an incredibly strong counter to them. So, for example, I could come in with a Man-Eater. Let's make it a bit more budget and put in, something like this. So, I boost up with Arbiter. I increase their skill cooldowns. And then I come in with a Man-Eater and I put on 2 turns of Unkillable. And then I use a Marius A2. And maybe it one-shots the Leo with the multi-hits and we remove the Stone Skin at the right time and maybe we're fine. But hey, if Leo survives and he smacks us, we're unkillable. He doesn't do anything. We chill. We can even use Arbiter's A2 at that point to remove his Stone Skin. And we're good. So unkillable teams will make extremely, extremely short work of the turtles. So for instance, I could show it to you, for example, here. This team we really outgear. Yeah, it's a really big problem for the turtles. They just can't deal with unkillable buffs. So yeah, I'd say there's another couple of potential things. Like Stone Skin really messes. None of them have Stone Skin here, though we do have a Feral, but it's on Michelangelo. We're fighting a pretty low level player, so we're not too worried about the showcase. But here we go. We can see he smacks us, and look at that. Even this low level player, right? He would have killed Sir Nicholas and Yumiko, and then all of the buffs would have been removed elsewhere. Now, we do have protected unkillable, because I've got 9-piece protection on Sir Nicholas. But you can see we could have potentially been in a lot of trouble right there. Here we go. We're going to trigger him again. You can see as well the block buffs should, I think it does prevent Leo's passive. Something that you could do, you could in theory use the nullify buff. Only April has it. Block active skill. So block active skills should block Leonardo's A3. But if you trigger his passive and he gets Stone Skin, the Stone Skin will remove the block active skills. So you kind of need block passives as well. It gets very hard to find enough champions to actually do that. But for example, I could just pop him and great. They're also pretty weak to crowd control, as you can see, particularly consistent, reliable crowd control. They can wind up submission it back, but if you're fast enough, if you've got good sources of crowd control, what can they do? So yeah, it looks scary because we're on 1 hit point, but while we've got that unkillable up, we're super safe. Noelle and Sir Nicholas, I think, are the ultimate combo here, because Lady Noelle basically has unkillable for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Is essentially how her A2 works when she's with Sir Nicholas, and then you can use Sir Nicholas A3 actively to cover the gap that is naturally in her rotation. You will eventually have a gap, like you won't have Unkillable up 100% of the time, but you'll have it up pretty close to 100% of the time. And it's certainly more than enough to take down the turtles, like as you saw. We could run against this one as well. So that would be my prefer. I think the best two counters, Unkillable is the safest. It's just the safest way. They can't do anything. Block damage is pretty darn safe as well. And then I do think that, yeah, then probably Comedus. Comedus is very good as well. Though there is the potential you might lose the fight, maybe, if they have Feral set. But then again, if they've got Feral set, for example, if Leonardo has Feral set, he's not going to have Stone Skin. Or if he has Stone Skin and... I mean, he could have Stone Skin and Feral. In the case there in Comedus, you could open, though, with his A2. If he doesn't have Stone Skin, if he's lethal Feral, come in with this. He's going to steal turn meter. You could come in. You could steal 100% of his turn meter. Like, Comedus can really mess with them base form. Like, yeah, Comedus just wrecks them super hard. To be fair, Comedus wrecks a lot of defense teams. He just doesn't wreck. So his problem is the high end. As we're going on a tangent here, his problem is he won't wreck some of the high end ones. Like Comedus can't struggles against Marishka and Galathier, who just happen to be the two best. He also struggles a bit against Theodosia. So like sort of the three top support champions in the game, he's pretty bad. It's part of why they're the three top supports, I suppose. But he's pretty bad against them. Anyway, that's the gist. That's Comedus, the whole other topic. But yeah, you get the gist. That's the turtles. That's how we beat them. Here's another one. Don't put 5-star crushing rend on. But yeah. Oh, look, we actually failed to lock out Leonardo. So we got a little bit unlucky. We got the 3%. The 3%. You can see my Sir Nick is beautifully tuned to push everyone directly to 50%. There we go. We've removed Leonardo's buff. He's smacking us. And you can see we're all on 1% HP. Absolutely destroying us. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're all at one hit point. Because we're unkillable. And unkillable is not dead. And there you are. So hopefully it was helpful to you. As I said, you might be early enough in the game. You don't have this stuff. You might just lose to the turtles. They're pretty rough unless you've got some more direct counters. Beware. You could also, of course, just Arman's Leonardo. That's a possibility. A3 him and then stun him. But watch out. I think the Stone Skin removes the stun. But you could kill off his teammates while he's a sheep. Just watch out for Wand of Submission. Right? There's no way to tell what relics people have on. And that's a big risk. There could be aspect of Sirach Cheat Death. There could be Wand of Submission to reflect back your crowd control. So, yeah, again, none of those strategies are going to be quite 100%. Best I can do. Guys, let me know any tips that you have, any champions. I didn't mention, but I do think Gizmak is incredibly strong. Obviously, Nice is incredibly strong. I didn't mention Volcanos directly, but with the burns, Volcanos incredibly strong. Nice is incredibly strong. A lot of the top tier mythicals are going to wreck them. But yeah, that's it. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.